And everyone else is thinking about this bear market. I'm thinking about the next bull market. As soon as we've got this consensus figured out, and I think we've got a good plan, as soon as this consensus is like executed and fixed on Pulsechain, it's going to be glorious. And so, before we launch mainnet, we want everything to be right. And right now, we have a pretty cool opportunity because the Ethereum guys finally got to market with something, or are close to getting to market with something, which is their Ethereum 2.0, which will now, once it happens, just be called Ethereum. They won't be called Ethereum 2. And it doesn't release new coins. You're not going to get a copy of your coins on Ethereum 2. It doesn't improve costs. There's no extra throughput. There's no extra gas limit. There's no extra throughput per second. All it does is reduce issuance rate for Ethereum, which is bullish for all of crypto. Ethereum's got half the market cap of Bitcoin. And if you don't have Ethereum miners dumping the price constantly and enriching power companies and hardware manufacturers at the cost of the environment and the price chart, well, that's great. And that's great for all of crypto. Are the Ethereum fees still high? Yes, they are. I was looking earlier today, it's still $3 to send normal Ethereum. It's still, 10 or $12 to do a Uniswap transfer, etc. And that's during a bear market where, Ethereum already dropped 85%. Bear markets tend to come to an end. So the last bear market only lasted 365 days. This one is going to last a little bit longer because people decided to destroy their balance sheets and buy a second. They didn't want to do the normal blow off top bubble chart. They wanted to do an extra double bubble. And this double bubble, well, it didn't work. Ethereum's capital liquidated, Celsius bankrupt. Michael Saylor net negative, El Salvador net negative. Everybody, all those guys losing money left and right. All the people that listen to me, well, they seem to have done much better. Called the top of the day. You might have heard that before. Basically, with this merge that's coming up, assuming it goes well, which I hope that it does, look, it doesn't do anything but help Pulsechain. Fees are still high. Gas limits are still low. No one's building out extra capacity for Ethereum. No one's trying to reduce the Ethereum fees except us. And I guess maybe the ETH2 developers that someday in the future will eventually get around to sharding, which has been a dream of theirs for as long as Ethereum's existed. I don't know, 6 years. And it's great. So it also helps with our consensus stuff, because a lot of stuff the guys did in ETH2 for consensus is useful for us in Pulsechain. And that's the only thing we're really waiting on. So we're more secure. We're able to improve other projects if we want. Not sure we will. It's just funny. So in my mind, the two things people care about the most in Pulsechain are more coins, more throughput, lower fees. That's the primary value statement. And ETH 2.0 with this merge doesn't give you new coins, doesn't give you lower fees, doesn't give you higher throughput. And so our value proposition is totally clean. I like it. Everything's good. And then the less negative sell pressure on crypto as a whole from removing the miners having to get paid all the time is good for everything. Now, am I bullish on crypto? Not yet. Now remember, Hex ran up 60x versus Bitcoin the first time it dumped from 65K down 55%. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some point Hex started doing the same things it used to do, which is just overperforming like crazy. I mean, even recently when you saw Bitcoin break under 20K, which people are really hoping for, they don't like seeing Bitcoin under 20K. And then if you're a technical analyst, there's some things that say support becomes resistance. And so, what used to be resistance is support in theory, old 20K top, now 20K quote bottom, but actually didn't hold a 20K bottom at all. Didn't respect that at all. Went down to 17.5, is now sitting at, it was interesting. I saw the Euro and Bitcoin and the S&P 500 all pumped today. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're correlated. The Ethereum merge might be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I mean, we see lending, people that are borrowing Ethereum for the merge, they're paying 15% APY to do it. And so there's some people interested in playing this merge game. And I think traditionally in crypto, buy the rumor, sell the new stuff. It's pretty common, So the dream would be those coins get dumped. Bitcoin's deficit to net asset value and grayscale disappears. And then it does its traditional 11K and pray 85% dump. That's been a nice bottom. And then if they raised interest rates, oh boy, that'd be nice too. Because as long as they keep doing quantitative tightening, QT, it pushes down the stock market pushes down Bitcoin pushes down Ethereum. That's how it goes. Like, look at the situation Bitcoin's in. Is there DeFi in Bitcoin? Comedically, no. Is there high throughput? Is there low fees? Is there a roadmap? Nope. Is there good anonymity? Nope. Now I was just talking to a lawyer today about the Tornado Cash situation. And I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. But he says that, the sanction just addressed USDC, which means it could be the case that you can still use Tornado Cash using the ETH address. And as long as you're using IPFS to access the contract, it seems like it should be okay. But if you mess this up, it's devastating. Don't mess it up. Be very careful. Get your own legal advice. Of the many things in this world that you want to toy with, sanctions are not one of them. Bear markets don't last forever. If we call the most recent local top, get on the daily here, in Bitcoin, if we call that November of 2021, and a year out would be November 10th of 2021, that's 2 months from now. So if the bear market's only going to last 365 days, that's only 2 months and 4 days from now. And everyone else is thinking about this bear market. I'm thinking about the next bull market. As soon as we've got this consensus figured out, and I think we've got a good plan, as soon as this consensus is executed and fixed on Pulsechain, it's going to be glorious. Imagine all these new people that get to buy a massive dip. So when I got into crypto, I didn't get to buy a massive dip. I got to buy the top. So I bought Bitcoin at 30 and it went down to 2. I was down 93.5% to start. I was like, oh, well, this sucks. Then you just hold. Then it goes up to 1,200, and then it goes down to 200, and then it goes up to 20,000, then it goes down to 3, and then it goes up to 14, then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 69, and then it goes to 17. That's the history. Like, for instance, Hex dipped 95%. Well, golly, that's a good dip. I mean, you could get, if you buy a 95% dip, you're getting 20 times the stuff for the same economic energy that a person that had bought previously did. So in theory, that greatly reduces your risk because you're getting so much more stuff. I don't know why in crypto everyone loves to buy tops and sell bottoms, but if you have the opportunity to buy bottoms, like some people bought the big payday dip, well, that was glorious. It's a lot. It's a lot of extra movement. 34,500x from the bottom of the dip. That was my introduction to Bitcoin. Yeah, so, the outrage marketing, it's sad that so few people have, I guess, the attention span to pay attention to my live streams or read my books, because I've covered this 100 times. So for instance, I got a new Rolls Royce Cullinan $700,000 one, and its only utility to me is that I can brag about it. I mean, I've got like 6 cars. I don't drive them. They just flex value, right? I sent a tweet that says, I like getting driven in my Rolls Royce by the people that think they're better than me on foot. And then for some reason, the people that I like that don't think they're better than me include themselves in the insult and get angry. And you're like, hey guys, are you on foot being driven by, like, I'm driving by you on foot, a fan of mine, and then are you judging me and saying you hate me and stuff? No, that's not the case. Well, then you don't qualify for the insult, because I assure you, in my day-to-day life, I meet tons of people that hate me, dislike me without knowing anything about me, and just hate money in general. And my job is to free people. And to be free, you need money, period. How many cryptocurrencies are there? Tons. But I get the coverage because I'm more interesting, period. Now, Being interesting is nice. That gets me some coverage. Predicting prices gets me even more kind of even coverage now, I guess. And then they would purposely still hide Hex and Pulsechain. And I think it's hilarious, people that hate Hex and they call me a scammer and they call Hex a scam. And you're like, hey, well, is Pulsechain a scam? You forgot that one, guys. Or my free self-help books that have been out for longer than I've been in crypto, are those a scam? Or, they're just so silly. Like, I'm doing what works. The metrics show that it works. I'm getting traction with news agencies and newspaper reporters that I wasn't previously. And just today, Business Insider published a bunch of, my price commentary, and for the first time talked about Hex, and for the first time talked about Pulsechain. That's progress. And you're like, hey, maybe learn instead of crybaby. The stuff that we're doing is awesome and has been awesome. 1,000 days of perfect, flawless operation while everything else around us got wrecked. 1,000,000% price performance before staking. And it luckily dips once in a while. And some people get to participate at the dips. Building stuff makes you a prosperous nation. So cryptocurrency is a more efficient medium of exchange, a more efficient store of value, a more durable good, a more recognizable good, nearly impossible to counterfeit. Traditionally, these other currencies are not. It has other properties such as, if you get paid and you wait enough confirmations, you really got paid. There's no chargebacks. But if in the United States you accept an ACH transfer, they can charge that back up to 6 months, maybe even a year later. You never really have the money. It's a joke. They can always claw it back. And wire transfers are different from ACH. And that's different than a merchant processing account. And that's different from PayPal law. So, cryptocurrency is one of the only technologies that exists that can return the power back to the people and make you rich at the same time.